This is Jonathan Agger, here for Pro Boxing Fans, here in Bournemouth today for Billam-Smith against Chamberlain this Saturday. A really interesting cruiserweight fight, Adam Smith. Is it 50-50?
Well, first of all, I was just looking down to see if you got your sandals on. I mean, do you remember a press event on a beach before? Isn't it wonderful to be in Bournemouth? It's something Chris Billam-Smith has told us time and time again that he's wanted, and finally, you know, boxer alongside with Mick Hennessy, and everybody's got together, Sky, and we've made it happen for him, and I think it's a great fight. I've known Isaac a long time, actually, from when he was really starting out and going over to spar the likes of Deontay Wilder, and I've always loved his attitude, and I think he froze a bit against Lawrence Okoli on that big night, and I think it wasn't the real Isaac, and I really can't wait to see a full, ready Isaac Chamberlain give Chris Billam-Smith everything he can handle on Saturday night. I think Chris is the favourite. He's got the hometown support. He's got the McCarthy win. He's got the role with him. He's got momentum. He's with Shane. He's got a red-hot gym. But you know what? I think Isaac's going to really have his moments in this fight, and he could win it. He could pull it off. It's a very, very good fight. I lean slightly, as I've said, to Chris, but I think Isaac, it would not surprise me if we see a career-best performance. And, in many ways, he deserves to have that chance to do it because he's waited patiently. He's had a very difficult pandemic where he couldn't get fights and went out to the States, and he's a bit of an old-fashioned throwback, Isaac Chamberlain, and he's taken big fights, and this is another one. He's got nothing to lose, and I hope the fans are in for a real treat. I think the atmosphere will be amongst the best we've seen in the last couple of years.
Now, I believe, obviously, Chris was with Matchroom. His contract came to an end, and he wanted this homecoming here in Bournemouth. And I believe the reason why he moved away was because the Zone couldn't deliver this fight here. Why was it a big enough fight for Sky?
I'm sure Eddie would have wanted to do this as well. He talked many times about bringing Chris down to Bournemouth. It's a great event. It's the summertime. It's perfect, isn't it? Everybody's happy, having their holidays, and they can see a great night of action. So look, it just fell this way. I mean, Ben said, look, we've got the opportunity to put this fight on, and July the 2nd fell through in Manchester. We needed a fight night. It's a good night for us because the Championship's starting a week before the Premier League. Can you believe the Premier League's kicking off? Next weekend. But so it's a good night for us. We wanted some summer boxing before we reunite on the UK, certainly in September. Obviously, we've got a slightly large event in Saudi in August to look forward to first. But we needed a big event, and it sort of ticked the boxes, and everybody fancied a trip to the seaside, and so did you.
I went to uni here, so it's very good to be back.
Did you? Wow. Well, I'll be finding out the best places to go to afterwards. Or not?
No, I might give away a few places. Adam, the most highly anticipated professional debut I can remember in a long time, Ben Whittaker. What is it that people are talking about, this Marmite character? We haven't even seen him box yet, so why are people labelling him already?
Oh, we love Marmite characters, don't we? You think back to Prince Nassim Hamid, you think back to Diego Corrales, you think to James DeGale, and fighters on our shores that people just haven't been quite know whether to love or hate, and Floyd Mayweather, of course, at times too. I think that's part of our business, and I think Ben is flash, he's brash, he's on that sort of verge of arrogance, but also really, really pleasant, nice guy. So he's a bit of an enigma. You don't quite know what he's going to say next. I love that. I love his attitude. He believes that he's going to be a great in British boxing now. It's only going to the journey's going to unravel, and it's going to be told. I love that confidence. He's got Sugar Hill, he's got the Kronk Gold. He wants to do different ring walks and tell different stories, and we need characters like this. A hugely anticipated professional debut. We fought very, very hard for Ben's signature. It was hard enough getting the others, Caroline, Fraser, Karis, Lauren, but Ben was tough, and we finally actually, our last meeting, I'll tell you this, was just outside Wolverhampton in Nando's, right? I like Nando's because I go there with the kids. I didn't actually eat that night, I was too nervous, but I tell you, Ben and his dad, they love their Nando's, and we had a last sort of chat there, and Ben Shalom laid it all out, I laid it all out, and we thought then we had him, and then we heard heard he wasn't coming, and then we finally got him. So look, it was a real battle, and I'm so glad that Ben is going to be a Sky fighter and a boxer fighter, and we're going to build him into hopefully becoming one of the next superstars of the sport. He's got the personality, he's got the charisma, and boy, he can fight as well. He's got super skills. He's going to be a terrific addition to the professional scene. Stand by and watch Ben Whittaker, because it's going to be a hell of a ride.
You mentioned the brashness, the arrogance, the flashiness outside the ring, but isn't that what everyone's going to love with him inside? You surely can't have it both ways sometimes.
Of course, and people want to tune in, don't they? I remember when Naz flipped in the ring and people thought, what's he doing? How can he do that? It's disrespectful. And then he sits on the apron afterwards and goes, I'm not bragging or nothing, but I'm just too good. And people are like, what? And I remember when we were working the early days of Sky and we were in the trucks, the people in the trucks were like, they were queuing up to be part of that broadcast to see Naz lose, because they just hated him that much. I thought he was brilliant. I thought it was just a breath of fresh air. We'd seen Chris Eubank goad the crowds, but Naz brought it to another level. And look, I think Ben's going to be Marmite. He's going to be fun. I think he's going to polarise opinion. But I'll tell you what, he's a nice guy, and his dad's nice. They're good people, and I'm really excited about his journey. He's got 258 around him. He's got Ben and Boxer. He's got us with the experience of Sky. We hope it's a winning team. He's got to turn up and deliver in the ring. I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Adam, just a few I want to ask you away from the card. Announced yesterday, Joshua Usyk on Sky box office. First of all, your reaction to that?
Was it yesterday? I'm losing days. I've been on holiday. I've been in West Cork, so I'm not quite sure. It was yesterday. I thought it was 2 days ago. I lose track. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was going to happen a couple of weeks ago, but obviously contracts take time, and commercially we had to get everything in order, and we made the big announcement. It's fantastic that we have the biggest fight of the year on Sky Sports box office. It was a downer when AJ announced that he was going to DAZN. We've had him from his professional debut. He's part of the Sky family, the Sky furniture. And look, I think if Eddie and DAZN had that win, I think it's only right that we get a win here, and we continue to broadcast AJ. We continue to broadcast Oleksandr Usyk, because we've been having a great relationship with Alex and Aegis and the whole team of Oleksandr. He's performed quite brilliantly on Sky, and again, he's part of us as well. So it's I think it's only right that this fight lands on Sky. We know the teams. We've obviously been to Saudi before for the Ruiz rematch. We're going to put all the bells and whistles into the build-up. It's going to be a mouth-watering 3 weeks ahead, and hopefully we're going to get the compelling rematch that we all want to see. Can AJ become a 3-time heavyweight champion and join the pantheon of greats, or will Oleksandr Usyk prove too much like he did at Tottenham and maybe even go one better and stop Joshua this time? Usyk will be even more confident that he can go and do that after what happened at Tottenham Hotspur, but of course he's got the background of the terrible situation in the Ukraine, which he's sort of fighting for. How's that going to have affected him? How will AJ adopt new tactics under Robert Garcia? It's got everything, and I can't wait for it. It's a brilliant night, and I'm so happy it's on Sky.
I don't know how involved you are in the decision making that goes behind it, but when it was announced that AJ signed exclusively with DAZN, what was the thinking behind then going for the fight? Because obviously we know it's separate to the DAZN deal, but surely knowing the fact that he has no fights left on Sky beyond this point must have been, was that a decision that had to be made whether to actually go for it, given there's no, I guess, longevity beyond this point?
I think it's a really good question, and I think the answer lies with our customers, because the fans want to see AJ Usyk too, and I believe on Sky we can deliver it like no other platform. Our box office events and our history, all fighters want to be part of that. You get all the build-up, you get the big shows, you get the Sky Sports News 24/7. Everyone in the business gets behind it. So I think it's really important to give our customers something that we've had already on Sky Sports this year, the likes of Eubank Eubank against Williams, the likes of Taylor against Cattrall. We've got a huge night on Sky Sports coming up on September the 10th, which is a pivotal night for women's sport, topped by the wonderful fight between Savannah Marshall and Clarissa Shields. So, a Sky Sports box office fight bang in the middle of those, which has everything. AJ, Usyk, it's a sparkling night. It's something we were desperate to get hold of if we could. Now, AJ went to DAZN, so could we? Well, the Saudis held the global rights. We saw an opportunity, and the team worked very, very hard to try and secure it. I want to thank Ben Shalom for all his help in trying to make this happen. Rob Selms as well, never gets mentioned, never gets a shout out. The head of rights for Sky, he's absolutely brilliant. He's a whiz kid on the commercial team at Sky, and he's worked night and day on the contractual and the business side of it. And look, I know them. I remember, obviously the work we did in 2019 when we went over there. We took 150 people out. It's different this time. We don't do the world feed. It's a different operation, but we will have a team out there, and we'll be delivering everything we can on the ground, and obviously back at Sky as well. We'll have a huge amount of talent working on it. It's going to be a starry night. And the big question, can AJ become a 3-time heavyweight champion? And can he do it on Sky? Because everything else has been on Sky throughout his career. So it will be a fantastic way, if it is, that AJ will be on DAZN beyond this. And who knows where the next fight and the next set of boxing issues and problems and scenarios comes from. But we work in the present. We had a chance to get this fight. We went out and got it. We believe it's a fight that the Sky customers want to see, need to see, and they want us delivering it.
What's the price point that was paid to secure this prize to secure this fight ahead of the other broadcasters, in line with what you guys wanted to pay, or given the magnitude of the fight, was it, and the competition, was it more than you would have wanted?
We don't discuss what happens in the contracts and the business behind the scenes, but what I would say is that we've got a fantastic event here. It's an incredible night. It is the biggest fight of the year. If you think back to before the Spurs occasion, we put it at Tottenham, one of the great stadiums in the world, because most people, let's not forget this, most people thought AJ would be too big and too strong for Oleksandr Usyk, and he was a huge favourite in that fight. Now the tables have turned. He's the underdog for possibly the first time, in his career. He'll be the underdog going into it. There's more questions to be answered in this fight than there were last time. So in my eyes, it's a much bigger fight. It's the night of AJ's career. Okay, he had Vladimir Klitschko, 90,000 at Wembley. Maybe it doesn't get any better. He went out into the desert and wrote the wrong against Andy Ruiz. And he's thrilled us in defeat as well a couple of times. But this is important. This is career defining. If he's to lose this and lose it badly, now people are going to say, well, he became a 2-time champion, but what's left for Anthony Joshua? If he wins this, he's back. The Tyson Fury fight, maybe even a third Usyk fight, it would be incredible. And he's so competitive. He's such a great athlete and such a great role model, AJ, that he will do everything he can to try and turn the tables. So for me, it's a massive night. A great card as well. Callum Smith on it. I think Ramla Ali, Filip Hrgovic, hearing that Ben Whittaker might be on as well. It's going to be a terrific night in the desert. I mean, the price point, of course, people are going to mention that. And I always say the same thing. It's your choice. If you want to pay for a box office experience and event, you can. If you don't, you don't. But obviously, it's a business. We know that. And I don't know. I can't think of a night out. I don't know, in London or tickets to somewhere else, another sporting event. I think it's good value, and obviously a lot of people won't be able to get out to Saudi. I think it's a chance to tune into Sky Sports box office. I promise you, we will give you such a great experience all week and a night not to forget. So let's hope the customers tune in. And but it's a business at the end of the day, and we know that. And the important thing is that we deliver the right business for our customers, and I think we've shown that in this last year with Boxer and Top Rank. Top Rank delivering you the likes of your Lomachenko's and your Shakur Stevensons and Devon Haney's and great fights like that on Sky Sports, as along with Eubank Williams and the Taylor Catterall fights, the big fights we've got coming up in the autumn. But once in a while, you've obviously, we've got to dig deep for the rights to put on a spectacular like this will be. AJ against Usyk, or Usyk against AJ2 is the fight of the year, and they don't come cheap, as you know.
I mean, without going too much into it, obviously this is the most expensive AJ pay-per-view of his career. Was it not possible for this fight to be at the previous price, which I believe was $24.95, or did the numbers, just for the numbers to work, it had to be a bit more?
Again, there's smarter people than me in the background on the commercial teams at Sky that make sure that our customers get looked after as much as we can look after them. That's the key. And look, we had to get this fight. It was really important, not just for us as the boxing team, but for our business and for Sky Sports. So yeah, look, I think that, as I've said, it is a business, and I think when we've had COVID, we've had the pandemic, it's been a difficult period, but I think the fact that we've pulled this off and got it is fantastic. So I think people should enjoy it, and it's a celebration, and it's a big fight. And I think, look, obviously there is inflation, prices do go up, and as I said, if you go to, I don't know what a couple of tickets at Lord's are, or a couple of tickets to the Euros this week, the Women's Euros and others, there's lots of different events that are going to cost a lot of money. Difficult getting to Saudi. I think a couple of rounds of drinks and all that on a night out now, and I hope that people can get round, watch the box office occasion, because we'll give them an extravaganza, and we'll give them a night to remember. And we'll be working alongside Eddie Hearn, and he doesn't turn an interview down, and I'm sure it'll be a great week in Saudi. But I want to thank Ben as well for his help in making this happen, and everybody at Sky that's worked so hard to deliver it. As I said, it's about a balance. It's about giving great football, great cricket, great Formula One, and great boxing. And sometimes you've got to pay for the really big nights, and that's what the box office events have been over the last, whatever it is, 25 years, almost since I joined Sky. And we'd rather give it for, I don't know, look, it's one of those. You've got to charge what you think is right as a business.
And a little segue from yourself into my next question. You are working with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom for this fight again. What's your thoughts on that? Because obviously this deal with Boxer and Top Rank have been going on a year plus now, and now you're back with previous promoters. Is it going to be a bit awkward?
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, I used to work with Frank Warren. I worked with Mick Hennessy. Chatted to him earlier. Ricky Hatton, Frank Maloney, loads of promoters we worked with in the past, and that's just in the UK. Eddie and I worked together for 10 years. We got on great. Me, Eddie, and Frank, and Barry, and I still work on the darts with them. So no, we had that slightly similar situation in the first AJ Usyk fight, because they'd already left for the zone, and it's business. We all pulled together to deliver the best promotion we can, and I think, look, if Ben Whittaker comes on the card, I'm not sure if certainly Boxer people will be coming, at Ben or Baz or Safdan. I'm sure there'll be people from Boxer there too. So everyone will be working together to deliver a fantastic night. And rather like when we had the sort of unusual situation, I guess, of Top Rank having a deal with us, but then they were on BT for the White Fury fight. But I was working with Sky Sports News and Top Rank that week, and it's a business. We're all helping each other out. We work with Boxer, they're our promotional company, and Top Rank, and that's who we're moving forward with in 4-year deals. That's where we're building. That's the relationships. That's where we're signing fighters together. But these things, these co-promotions or whatever they are, these things of working with a different promoter. We've worked with Matchroom year in, year out. Yeah, we'll join up again, join the dotted lines, and it'll be like we've never been apart.
Final one, bit left field, but
I can't wait, by the way. I cannot wait.
Almost here.
I saw them at the press conference the other week. It was fantastic to see them. They're doing great over on DAZN. And look, we're going to work together. Happy days.
Final one, and a bit left field, away from everything, but there's no UK broadcast to announce for this Jake Paul Hasim Rahman Jr fight coming up next week. Is Sky interested in that at all?
I'm not sure. I think we've got enough to be getting on with, to be honest. We always look at everything that becomes available. We obviously did the big KSI Logan Paul fight a few years ago, which was great fun. In fact, I think actually John Wischusen was saying this is the first time an event's been on the beach. Actually, we were on Venice Beach for KSI and Logan Paul for their workout, so not quite the first, but that was great fun, and I'm all for entertainment. KSI, I know, has got a big fight coming up at the end of August as well, so yeah, Jake Paul's doing great, and I'd like to have seen him with Tommy Fury, but it wasn't to be. Hasim Rahman's interesting. I saw Hasim's last fight when I was over in Vegas. Obviously, we know his dad pretty well, and that's an interesting fight. So look, we're always going to be looking at things, but to be honest, it's come around pretty quick, and I think we've got enough to be getting on with.
All right, Adam Smith, I'll leave it there. Look forward to Billam-Smith against Chamberlain this Saturday on Sky.
No problem.